I'm Trisha, and today I'm going to share with you guys a really amazing, delicious recipe for paleo chocolate chip cookies. These are so good, I'm not even kidding. Really like chewy and delicious. This is a recipe I found online, but I have kind of modified it. The recipe calls for sunflower seed butter. In the recipe they show that they use store-bought. I didn't want to go to the store. I decided to just make my own sunflower seed butter. So then, you know, a few weeks later I wanted to make the cookies again, but I thought, well, I'll just buy a jar of sunflower butter, it'll make it a lot easier. And they came out completely different. They came out more like a peanut butter cookie, which is good, but I definitely prefer the more chewy chocolate chip cookie kind of a flavor. Now, I already have my sunflower seed butter made. I actually made it the other day and tried to film this, but then I cut myself on the food processor blade and we didn't have any band-aids and it was all very dramatic, so I decided to continue it on another day. So what we're gonna need is a food processor, some sunflower seeds, coconut sugar, vanilla extract, cinnamon, sea salt, baking powder, baking soda, eggs, and chocolate chips. I'm using the Enjoy Life mini chips. So I went ahead and just made all of the sunflower seeds that I had, which was about 2 3/4 cups. And somehow that came out to exactly 2 cups, which is what you need for this recipe. You want to start with pre-shelled, unsalted, raw sunflower seeds. You're going to put them in the food processor and you're going to process them, processing for a few seconds, turning it off, letting the machine rest for a while until the sunflower seeds start to release their oils. Make sure you do not use pre-roasted sunflower seeds. If they're pre-roasted, they will have already released the oils and kind of dried up, and they won't work as well for this, according to what I read online. If you want the roasted flavor, you can roast them yourself right before processing them, and that will work. It starts to get to be less of a dry powder and more like they want to stick together a little bit. At that point, what I do is add some olive oil. This is going to help the process along. So I just drizzle in a little olive oil at a time until it's kind of in a mixable consistency, not too thick, something you can easily mix into a batter. I would say use anywhere from 1 to 3 tablespoons of olive oil. You're going to just want to add a little bit at a time until it's about this texture. So I've got my mixing bowl. I've already got 1 cup of sunflower seed butter in there, and I'm going to put in my 2nd cup. And the recipe just says place all ingredients in the bowl and mix, so you don't have to worry about mixing your dry and your wet and, you know, order of mixing, just go for it. On the recipe I found, it says 2/3 cups of raw honey or 1 cup coconut palm sugar. I'm gonna say there's no option here. We're going with coconut sugar because it's more like a brown sugar and you get more of a chewy texture like we're going for with these cookies, and then spill it all over the counter. That's an important step. We're gonna do 1 cup of the coconut sugar. And my coconut sugar is really stuck together, so I would say if yours is like that, go ahead and sift it. 2 eggs. Okay, the next thing we need is a tablespoon of vanilla extract. The original recipe called for a vanilla bean stem slit with the seeds and everything, and the vanilla extract, and I didn't have a vanilla bean, so I just skipped it and they came out perfect. So I'm not worrying about that. So I'm just gonna do the vanilla extract, 1 teaspoon of cinnamon, a teaspoon baking soda, and a teaspoon baking powder, a 1/2 teaspoon of sea salt. So I'm going to mix all this up, and then the last ingredient we're going to add is the chocolate chips. And I'm using the Enjoy Life mini chips. They're dairy, nut, and soy free. Because I already had these measured out the other day, I've got my 3/4 cup of chocolate chips. Put those in and mix them up. Okay, so I preheated my oven to 350 and I've lined my little baking sheet with parchment. So we've got our cookie dough ready to go. You'll notice it's really thick and really dark. I'm gonna go ahead and scoop out like about tablespoon size cookies here. Okay, so I'm gonna pop my cookies in, and on my version of the recipe, you'll notice that the baking time is shorter. I noticed with the store-bought sunflower butter that the cookies took a lot longer to bake, more like what it says on that recipe, but with the homemade, at least the other time I made it, they cooked way faster. So they were in for 10 minutes and I pulled them out because they look done. And you can see the difference in the color. I'm sure it's all very scientific, but I don't know, I just think it's cool. I'm just going to transfer these onto a rack. Be really careful not to burn yourself. Let them cool for a bit, and then we'll give them a try. Make sure and let them cool enough before you try and pull them off of the parchment because the bottoms are a bit sticky until they've cooled off, and it'll kind of rip the whole bottom of your cookie off. Here they are, yummy. You can see I didn't really scoop them very evenly. I ended up with 20 cookies from this recipe, and if you scooped more evenly or, you know, made them all smaller like I started out doing, they just started getting bigger and bigger as I scooped. You could probably get more than that out of this batch. Of course, if that's too many, you can just cut the recipe in half and do a smaller batch. Should we try one? Let's give one a try. So they're nice and fluffy inside. Yeah, these are so good. They're just like really chewy around the edges, but they're still soft in the middle. Yeah, I have nothing else to say. I just want to go eat a couple of these. So I think these might be my favorite chocolate chip cookies that I've ever had. I'm not just saying they're my favorite paleo chocolate chip cookies, but they're good. Like, I would still make these if I wasn't on the paleo diet. They're really good. So yeah, I'm gonna stop talking and I'm gonna go eat a couple of these with some almond milk. My channel just recently hit 100 subscribers, and I just want to thank everybody who's been watching my videos and subscribing and commenting. I really appreciate all the support I've gotten. I'm gonna keep posting videos, so just keep watching them, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.